What up, peeps? Happy
Hey,
Monday.
yes.
Welcome to another edition of Afterthoughts, 90 Day Fiance, WTF moments with your girl K-Cee Deeva, and sitting there looking debonair in his fancy specs, Mr. Anthony Adams joining me.
Hey, how you doing? Happy Monday. Happy Monday.
Yes, yes. Happy Monday.
Hey,
I love Mondays. You know why?
why is that?
Because it's the day after 90 Day Fiance,
Yes.
and we get to have some fun.
Oh yeah. Hey, let's get. I'm ready for fun. I'm ready. Let's do it. Come on. Come
All right, all right. Well, as you know, if you've been keeping up with the show, it is now happily ever after.
on.
So
Hmm.
there's a select, a few couples that they follow and see how things are going. See
Yes.
how it is in holy matrimony. Mm. All right, let's jump on in, and we're going to start off tonight with one of my favorite couples back on the scene, Angela and Michael.
Yes. Yes.
So Mike is from Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
and Angela is from the U.S., of course. Somewhere south. I can't remember exactly where.
Uh,
Atlanta? Atlanta? No.
I think right outside of Atlanta.
Okay. Okay. So in
Yeah.
that area.
Yeah.
All right. Angela, 54. Mike, 33, I think.
Yeah.
And man, yeah, they managed to last. But unfortunately, Michael's not in the U.S. yet because coronavirus hit and, held up all the traveling and the paperwork and so on. So they're excuse me, trying to get him over here to the U.S. Got me all choked up about it.
I know.
Oh man. Um, and but last night was interesting because Angela broke the news that she's going through with this surgery. I remember from the tell-all that we saw last year, she mentioned that she wanted to have the surgery, and Michael was like not feeling it at all. He's still not feeling it. He's from Nigeria.
Yeah.
In those parts, the bigger you are, it shows wealth. It's a sign of wealth.
Mhm.
And men like curves. They like something, a little something, something to hold on to. So he doesn't want skinny Angela.
Yeah. I mean, you know, here's the thing. Mike. That's beautiful that Mike loves Angela the way she is because that's who he fell in love with. Um, the thing about it is Angela claims, and here's the thing: I like Angela too. Now, Angela and Mike have been one of them couples that actually grew on me, and so I like them. I really do. Angela seems like type of lady you go to the casino with and just laugh, have time with, and everything,
Right.
and just laugh and talk. And she can take a joke and she can, she can throw one back at you. And, you know, Angela, as much as she claims that she's, tried to lose weight the regular way, her grandkids will tell you differently.
Stone Cold busted her out.
They did.
They said grandma like cookies, she like cake, cupcakes, candy canes. That's why she can't lose weight. Kids keep it real.
Mm-hmm. I got
Kids keep it real. They tell it
you.
like it is.
Too. And so, so yeah, and so for Mike, it's like, I don't want you to get it and everything because it is dangerous, when you go underneath the knife.
It's very dangerous.
it,
Yeah.
it, there's all these things. There's all these. I hate to say it. There's all these what ifs.
Yeah. The risk.
But you know, she said something interesting last night. That she said Michael is 32, 33, and he's gonna look 32, 33 because black don't crack.
Amen.
Angela is 55, and
And look 65.
yeah, gonna look 60. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you got to do something. So, and if you're not gonna diet and exercise the old school way, I
At
mean,
the end of the day, she has to feel good about her.
yes,
Don't do it for a man. Don't do it because, but she has to feel good about herself. Angela's also very insecure. Remember, we saw all the drama. Any girl he talked to, looked at, breathed on, she was swearing he was messing around with them. And so maybe this will help with a lot of her insecurities. I don't
yeah,
know. Maybe it's to help squelch some of that. She'll look good. She'll feel, lighter and
mhm,
and so on. And But the other issue they had is the whole kid thing. So he, of course, still wants kids. And in their culture, you know, in Nigerian culture, like that's what you do. You get married and you have some heirs, you know. His aunt, you know, him had a frank conversation. The aunt never liked Angela, you know. Anyway, but it's gonna be interesting to see how that turns out because Angela is 54 and you know,
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
yeah.
tough.
So it is going to be tough. To see how their story goes and how they get through
Yeah, yeah,
the situation. So, and
yeah.
you know, and you know what, I really do hold out hope that Mike does get over here. You know,
Yeah, hopefully he will. They'll figure it out. Okay, now to the next one. Let's talk about Andre and Elizabeth. Now, talking about growing on me, Andre had to grow on me. I always liked Elizabeth because, you know, Andre is very flippant and arrogant, and I didn't like the way he talked to her.
mm-hmm.
You know, I don't like when men talk disrespectful to women, and sometimes I felt he was a little disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she gives it right back to him. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I like about her. You know, she doesn't take any crap. She throws it right back at him. And he's actually kind of grown on me a little bit, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
last night, he got the brilliant idea to ask Chuck, Elizabeth's dad, for a loan, just a little loan, Anthony. Just, I don't know, $100,000 to start his own business,
Mm-hmm.
flipping houses, because that's what Chuck does.
Mm-hmm.
And what did Chuck do, Emily?
Chuck was like, Chuck literally sat there and flat out was like, no. He's like, no, I'm not going to give you $100,000, you know, to start your business. And he's like, you think it's easy to flip houses and everything? It's like, you got no experience. He basically laid into him and just told him the truth and was like, look, you've got no experience and I'm not going to give you $100,000, you know, for you to fall on your face. I'm not going to do that. So
Chuck shut it down.
he
I was proud
did.
of Chuck.
Really
I
did.
was proud
Yes.
of Chuck because Chuck is a nice man. He's kind of a pushover. He loves his girls. He'll do anything for them. And, you know, because he's doing things for them, the husbands reap the benefits, you know. But
Yeah.
in this case, you have somebody who clearly has tried to take advantage, you
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, I can't remember how he phrased it, but he basically, in so many words, said, you know, Chuck's a cash cow, you know, and you know, his in-laws looked at him and his wife looked at him like, did you really just say that? Like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but something along those lines.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, come on, Andre, like you got to pull it back some, bro. Like to tone down the ego. People are more willing to help you if
Mm-hmm.
you're not so arrogant.
Yeah. I mean, and it's not the first time the families tried to help him out. I mean, if you remember, I think it was a couple seasons ago, he was living in one of the houses dad is still rent free, but you know,
Yep.
take care of the lawn. So he was like, well, we're gonna move, but if I remember correctly, they have to ask dad money so they can move out and get their own place.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
yeah, it's like, dude, they've helped you out enough. We understand you're trying to get off the ground thing, but you got to earn that trust, that loan
Yeah.
before you go asking your in-laws for money.
Yeah. You do. You
I,
do. I agree. I
I
agree. I'm like, Andre, come on, man. You know, and what Chuck said was, let me talk to the family because what he offered him was he could join the family business. Now, you and I both know Charlie and I forget the other sister's name, but they're not going to be thrilled at that at all. The
mm,
brother and sister are not going to be excited about that one at all, rightfully so. So
especially
I
after,
can't wait to see that scenario.
oh yeah, especially after what happened in Moldova. Nope. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
That's gonna Charlie and Andre working together.
You you want to take a pool for how long you think it's gonna be before they get into it with each other?
Right, right. All right, let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to someone just as well, probably more annoying, I think, than Andre. Let's move on to Mike and Natalie. I'm so done with them. Their drama is boring now. I
Mm-hmm.
actually liked Mike for a minute,
Yeah.
and then he did the whole weird, you know, day of the wedding thing, and
Mm-hmm.
now he's all, hey babe, hey love of my life, and then I don't like it. It's just weird. The whole thing is weird and awkward, and it's just weird. It's
Mm-hmm.
weird to watch it.
It is. I mean, the only good thing about their story last night was they were at Alki Beach. You know,
Yeah,
it,
Helltime Beach,
that was it. I mean,
familiar territory. Yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah,
you are back again. I'm like, we just saw y'all on a reunion, and y'all walked past each other the way Beyonce walks past Kim Kardashian.
right, right.
So,
And now last night Natalie flashes this $3 ring that she was real proud of, and she got it from some woo astrology type store, in Seattle somewhere, and she grabs his. Well, Anthony, let's role play. Let's
yeah,
show the folks what happened. Okay,
right.
Mike,
Hmm.
Mike, give me your left hand. Give me your left hand.
There.
Put it right here. Let me. What's missing from this finger? What's missing? What's missing from your finger?
My ring.
Great, Mike. How do I know you're committed to me if you don't have a ring on your finger? I have a ring on my finger. You need a ring on your finger. Why don't you have a ring on your finger?
Why don't I have a ring on my finger? Because TLC's got me under contract, and I don't want to get sued, so I'm here to file it out. Thing. I mean, that's really what he wants.
I'm
Come
just
on.
going through the motions.
Exactly. Yeah. Come on. I tweeted out last night. I was like, he didn't want to marry you in the first place.
That's what everybody has been saying. Like, come
Yeah.
on. Now you're trying to force the man to wear a ring? It's like,
And here's the kicker: didn't she bug him the whole time last season to get the ring back?
now she's wearing a $3 ring that she bought herself. Where's the other ring, damn it? That's what I want to know. Did she pawn it for some money? I'm curious.
$100 ring.
Right, inquiring minds want to know. She cashed in the other ring, kept that money for something, and bought herself a $3 ring to wear, and bragged that it's a $3 ring. That's the crazy.
You know what? Hey, she happy.
Oh my
The part of me
goodness.
is like, I can't be mad at her, but then again, because she's happy with the $3 ring. But the other half of me is like, you begged him for that ring, and you're not even gonna wear it.
I can't, and I don't even know the reason. I no one knows the reason why. That has not been revealed yet. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go on down the list. Let's see. Oh, we've got Asuelo and Kalani. Now,
Hey,
I actually like them as a
me
couple.
too. Me too.
I like Kalani. I think she's beautiful inside and out.
Mm-hmm.
They've got two beautiful sons.
Yes.
Asuelo's annoying because of his kind of ignorance, but it's
Yeah.
not his fault. He's an island boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's new to the States. He doesn't understand a lot. He's very immature mentally,
Yeah.
in comparison to her. And
Mm-hmm.
his family's a trip, which they'll show them later in the season, I guess. But so last night we saw that they were house hunting. So
Yeah.
if you don't know, if you're catching up, Asuela and Kalani actually been living with her folks in their house.
Mm-hmm.
And now the sister is gonna move in for like a month because her lease is up.
Mm-hmm.
The sister's moving in. So Kalani is like, okay, one more person in this house. Asuelo, our marriage is already on the rocks. Asuelo's convinced that if we get our own place, then it'll save our marriage. What do you think about that, Anthony? Because they've been on the rocks for a while. I mean, they've been really struggling. His family didn't help, last season, asking for money and demanding a certain dollar amount.
Mm-hmm.
And when she said, well, is this to save our marriage? Cool. It's kind of like when people say, oh, I'm having a kid, we're having a kid to save our marriage. It's like, that's just going to complicate things even more.
Exactly. I mean, you can do stuff like that to save the marriage, but all it's going to do is you're basically putting a band-aid on a nasty wound that needs stitches.
Right.
It's going to
I mean,
stop the bleed, but
yeah.
you're going to move into that house, and problems are going to still continue, and then you're going to have problems on top of problems because now you're in a new space. And what triggered you to bring back these past problems was because something small in this new space, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
So so I think it could potentially help, but at the same time, it's like y'all got a long way to go. But if you think that a house is just going to solve the problem and everything.
Yeah, I agree. I think they need a lot more than a house. I mean, I don't think a house is gonna solve the problems that they've been having. In fact, we saw in the preview where his sister, who's just this little time bomb, I think she's jealous of Kalani. I think she's hating on Kalani personally. But every time she sees her, she wants to fight her. Like, it's crazy.
Like,
now
what?
she's trying to fight Kalani's sister.
And Kalani's sister look like she's a scrapper.
I agree. Kalani's sister look like she could whoop that ass.
Come on, let's go. Yeah, that's
yeah. Yeah. So
definitely
it's interesting. What'd you say?
I said she definitely look like a scrapper. You could tell.
She does. You tell.
In middle school, she had a few trips to the principal's office.
Right. And but the thing is, with her versus say Asuelo's sister, I think her name's Tammy.
Mm-hmm.
She's one of those feisty. It's kind of like people with a Napoleon complex.
Mm-hmm.
They talk a good game and they bark and bark and bark, but then they have no bite when it comes down to it.
Mm-hmm.
And Kalani's sister's like, okay, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
She gonna get, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of funny to watch. It's like people like that, they're always ready to fight, whatever. You can't. So
we're gonna have to wait. That's another reason why I gotta go get my popcorn as soon as this show is over.
Yes.
I gotta go get my popcorn because this is gonna be a good season. I already know.
we're gonna have some libation for this next show because man, but good for Asuelo. He did get a full-time job, so
Air driver.
Yes. So what would you do if he showed up to drive you to the airport, Aunt?
You know what? I'm a people person, and me and him will probably have a good conversation on the way to my destination.
I'm not confident on his driving.
You're not confident in his driving? You're not confident in his driving?
He's a little special. He's a little different. Yeah. I don't know if I trust him. No, I'm just playing. But good for him. He got him a job. He was scooping ice cream or giving samples, I think at Sam's Club or something. But he's got a real job now and making a little change. So you know what? Best of luck to them.
Yes.
I really do want to see them win, and so I'm excited to see how that turns out.
Yeah, me
did
too.
We get everybody in? I think we did. No! Last but not least, Julia and Brandon.
Oh, this was a good one.
Julia and Brandon. Now they open the scene where they're packing, and I'm like, oh wow, they're moving out. They're moving off the farm. Julia doesn't have to feed the chickens and the pigs anymore.
Yeah, me too. Nope.
But that came to a screeching halt.
Nope. They going to Sin City.
They're going to Vegas, man. I was like, are you serious? You got me all excited for nothing.
I know. And it was funny. Like, they're packing up the car and everything, and the mom is like, you gonna come help us? And they're like, nope, we gotta go. Bye.
You gonna help us feed the cows?
Like, nope. Bye. Yeah.
Julie's like, run fast.
Exactly. She said that. She said, run fast.
So Julie's like, I did not come all this way to be feeding no damn stinky animals. I don't blame you, Julia. No, for real. That wasn't part of the deal.
When they got to Vegas and Julia was like in heaven, you could tell. And it was hilarious because like she wants to move there. She's like, we could move. She's like, I could get this. So the reason, real quick, why they're in Vegas, of course, is because Brandon got a new job with a new pay.
Yep.
And so they're there to celebrate that as well as their marriage because they're newlyweds. So this is their
right.
And she is just like, oh, honey, we could move here and everything. It's great and everything. And I was like, Vegas is to Julia what Miami was to Paola. When Paola first went to Miami,
Yes.
yeah, and she stayed. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not
Yes.
gonna lie though. Brandon
Yes.
had me when he said, "Well, what if I told you that I've put in my transfer papers and tomorrow we're actually gonna go look at a house out here?" And she was like, "Really?" And he goes, "No." I was like, "Oh, you had me."
That was wrong. That was so
He was
wrong.
wrong for that.
Wrong to do that, poor Julia.
Oh,
Yeah, but here's the thing. Now we all know, Vegas is great to party in and gamble and do the thing. But
mhm,
unless you're out in maybe the residential areas, I mean, it's not really a place people go to and say, "Oh, I want to live here." But
mm-mm,
poor Julia, I mean, think about it. Farm. She
mhm,
goes to the farm. She gets over here. For all she sees is farm, pretty much. And then she goes to Vegas, and it's bright lights and people and
mhm.
drinks and fun. And I mean, come on, you can't blame the girl for wanting. But hey, if they get me off the farm, I'll move here.
Exactly. I mean, hey, the first chance I see a city, I'm moving, and I've been on.
Right.
Yeah,
Civilization,
exactly.
people.
Yeah, I can go out and dance and everything, and I'm like,
Yes.
hey, I mean, it's funny too because if you remember in her native country, she was a go-go dancer,
She
and
was.
so she might not have a hard time finding a job like that because she's still young, still cute looking, and she could definitely get a job like that out there in the nightclubs. So
Yeah, I can see her in Vegas. I can see her in Vegas doing her thing. She's got kind of a sex appeal thing going on.
mm-hmm.
Um, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that plays out. That's gonna be interesting too.
Yeah.
I do hope that now that he's got a job,
Mm-hmm.
a real job, a better paying job, he can get himself out of debt because he mentioned again last night, like when he met Julia, he was in a lot of debt. And
Yeah.
this is my problem. This is my problem with all of 90 Day Fiance.
Come on.
These men be lying and they be lying to these women. They
Mm-hmm.
make them they got all this stuff. The women drop everything, leave their family, friends, come to the US because they want a green card, of course, but also they want a better life. And then how many scenarios that we see where they get here and oh, by the way, like I got 5 kids, or oh, by the way, yeah, I'm a
Broke.
100K in school loan debt or whatever the debt is. You know what I mean? It's not fair. Like you need to make that up front. You need to make that known up front, so then the person can make an informed decision about whether
Yeah.
they're going to leave their own country and come over here. Just saying.
All I keep thinking about right now when you mention that was George and Anfisa from like the earlier season of 90 Day.
Yes.
All I kept thinking about because he sold himself like he was this big time dude and he's got mad money and he can bring her over here and kind of
Mm-hmm.
the dude owned a dispensary. Not there's anything wrong with that, but
Right, right, right.
and then on top of that, he was also facing criminal charges and stuff, which he would later go to jail for.
Yep, he
And
sure did.
yeah, I mean, and he's out now, and they're both in new relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
they get married. But I mean, yeah, that is the prime example of that. So yeah, yeah, you can't be out here lying and saying, hey, I got all this money and everything. Come on over here, and then you get here and like, I got to live here in this 2-bedroom house. That's almost no different than what I was living in my home country. It's no.
And do you remember David and Annie? Annie was, I think she's from Thailand,
Yeah,
and David, and he's older. He's older, kind of like
yeah,
Big Ed, that age
yeah.
group. And Annie's, in her 20s. They did get married,
Mm-hmm.
and but poor Annie, he brought her. He was basically homeless.
Yeah.
He didn't have a home here, and he had a rich friend that let him stay in a firehouse,
Mm-hmm.
like it was an apartment or something in a firehouse, a super small,
And then
uh, no kitchen, no, it was just all. I mean, they bounced around, they stayed with friends. They finally have their own place now. They do pillow talk. It's fun to
yeah,
watch them. They've grown a lot.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, same thing, the okey doke. Like
yeah.
you need to be upfront.
You do. I mean,
And people, you need to do your research for you to be packing up, moving over here. I'm just
because
saying.
yeah, I was gonna say, because correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Annie come from like royalty or something like that over there, or was that the other?
No,
No, that was the other
No.
thinking of who didn't get along with the dude's daughter, and he was in the military, and she had a son over there. Because I remember her parents came over and they saw the apartment they were living in. They were like,
"Oh, I know you're talking about. I can't remember." She got into it with the daughter,
yeah,
his oldest daughter. I can't remember their names, but I know exactly.
yeah.
That was a crazy. Yeah,
He
that was
was
a
the
weird.
one that came from like royalty or something like.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were royalty. They were just rich. They were.
They're rich.
I
Yeah,
think her dad was like a
they live
dentist
like
over
royalty
there.
there. And
Yeah, in their
I remember
country,
that
they were
too.
super.
Yeah, and so I mean, and they're still together though. That other couple, so which is
Are
cool.
they still
Yeah,
together?
they're still together. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, because like I, there's like a 90-day. There's a bunch of 90-day IG, is out there that tag them and they say, "Oh yeah, they're still together. Here's so and so," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And I guess she does she goes like Comic Cons and stuff like that, and dresses up in characters and stuff like that, and she makes money off of that, which is cool. So, and then he still gets money from his like military.
How much money are you getting dressing up as a guy? Because she's not like. It's not like if I saw her, I would even recognize her. Honestly.
Right. I mean, but what it is though, you take a photo and what you do is like you just put a hat in front and just come up and they just.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to say panhandling, but I mean.
Kind of like in Vegas when you go to Vegas, the looking like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have. Tune in next week. We'll definitely have more to talk about. Maybe they'll show some other couples that they're keeping up with. Yeah, I'm excited. New season, 90 Day Fiance, Happily Ever After.
Hey.
This is Afterthoughts, 90 Day Fiance, WTF Moments. K-Cee Deeva.
Your boy.
And Anthony. We always have a good time. Yes, until next time, we'll leave you with this. Bye, peeps.